It's a command line tool, but it's not difficult to use. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with command line tools and how to install them, I've written some instructions, and I'm also going to walk you through it. So the tool is called Flight Plan to Litchi Mission. It's available here on this website, GitHub. I have instructions here for installation and running it for both Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. And also, to make it a little easier, it is open source, so if you want to download the source code and build it from source, you can. If you want to modify it, you're free to. But to make it a little easier for everyone, I've created some pre-compiled binaries, so you don't need to build it from source. So we're just going to install those. They're in this folder here called bin, which is short for binary. And you just select your appropriate system architecture. If your architecture is not here, just send me a message. If you say a 32-bit architecture, I'll just post another binary here. But we're on Mac, ARM 64-bit, so we'll use this one. Here's the program, fp2lm, and so we'll just download that. And the installation instructions are really just cut and paste. So you can copy these commands, you can open them right up in your terminal, and you can just run them. So this first command is going to create a new folder in your home folder called bin. This is just a convention a,mostly on Unix systems, that programs that are just installed for the person using the system are installed home folder in a directory called bin. So we'll just follow this convention. What this next command will do is it will move the file that we just downloaded from our downloads folder into the folder that we just created. So that's done. We can, of course, verify that. The command ls will list the contents of a folder, and there it is, fp2lm. On Unix and Mac OS systems, you will also need to tell the operating system that to treat this file as executable, so that it can actually be run as a program. And so that command will accomplish that. You don't need to do that on Windows because it uses the file extension. These next two commands, 4 and 5, are technically optional, but we're just going to do these to make our lives a little easier. This first one will add this program to our path on a Unix system. We have this environmental variable called path, and it is just basically the list of folders that the system will search when you type in the name of a program to run. So this command will add the bin directory that we just created to our path. The only thing we need to change is this text between the brackets. We'll need to change that to the name of our own home directory. And then this second command will make that permanent by adding that line of code to our essentially our profile, which will be run every time the user logs in. So just make sure that that environmental variable is constantly set appropriately. Is the final command and the most important command, and this is the command that you would actually use to run the software. And let me explain what this command line does. So this program, cat, C-A-T, it's short for catenate. Basically what it does is it's going to take a file as an input, which is the flight planner mission.csv file that we just created, and it's going to send that file as a stream into our fp2lm converter software. If we want to make this explicit, just for demonstration purposes, I'll put the complete path to that tool in home directory bin folder, flight plan to Litchi mission. This tool has an option here. You can use the D flag to set the distance. And remember, we wanted 23 meters, the inter-photographic distance, so we can set that there. And then this to take the output of that, and the preceding instructions, and send it to a new file, which is going to be created on our desktop. And this new file's name is going to be litchimission.csv. So that's it. That's the whole command line. It's actually very simple. If you do this a bunch of times, you can just save that, copy it, and paste it in when you need to run it. We don't get any error messages, which basically means that it succeeded. And when we open this this new file up, that's the old one. Here's the new file. You can see that we have now, this is proper format to be used by Litchi. So latitude and longitude, our altitude in meters above ground is all there. Our heading, one thing that I still have to do for this, this software is the heading just defaults to 360 degrees. So the aircraft is going to be oriented due north, and it's basically just going to crab as it flies its flight plan. It's not actually going to turn. Of course, if it's a quadcopter drone, that works well enough. But in a future version, I'm going to modify it so we actually have correct turning instructions. But this will work. This will get you going. I'm just showing you the contents of this file. Don't modify any of it, or it may not load properly, and you might also have unexpected problems. Okay, so now we can go back to Litchi Hub, and we'll go to our missions. We'll go to Import. We will choose the new file that we created, litchimission.csv, on our desktop, upload that, import it, boom, done. There it is. So when you run this mission, your aircraft will, of course, go to waypoint 1, and it'll start flying the circuit, and then every 23.4 meters, it will take a photograph. Now, one of the downsides to that is you will probably get a few extra photographs, depending on your workflow and the type of mapping that you want to do. It's always better to have a little extra data for error correction purposes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave them in comments. If you use the conversion software, for flight plan in QGIS to Litchi, feel free to give me a star on GitHub. I'm going to work on my own to keep expanding this toolkit and work in some additional features, and I'll keep everyone in the community updated. So that's all for now, and thank you very much, and wish you all safe and productive flying. Thanks.